Good morning, I'm Linda from MHYT, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about cleaning up the run. We talk always about the chicken coop and things you should do to keep the coop clean and keep your birds comfortable in there, but I'm going to walk around and show you a few things in my run that I'm going to be working on cleaning up just to make it nice for them this summer. There are some miscellaneous corn cobs, decor, and even some trash that's blown into the area. If it can be composted, I'll add it to the composter, and if it's trash, I'll just toss it in there. But it's easiest to pick up pieces now when I can see them before the grass gets taller and before the mower runs over something and shreds it into lots of little pieces and shoots it everywhere. I also want to collect anything now that might hurt the mower or the blades. I planted this willow tree a year or two ago. There are some pros and cons to trees in the run area. Hopefully this one will drink up a lot of water, but I consider this more of a chicken pasture than an actual run. The trees can be both good and bad. As the tree grows, it's going to provide shade for the birds, hopefully drink up that water, but that may come at the cost of giving the hawks or owls a place to hang out too. I may eventually have to hang some reflective predator tape, foil pans, or old CDs at some point down the line to help keep some of those predators away. If the roots end up getting too big, because they can be on the shallow side for this large tree, when it's grown, I may be creating a mowing obstacle too, but I've got time at least before I need to deal with that, and maybe it'd be a good reason to add a small grazing animal. I learned if I plant trees in my chicken pasture, this is the one place the deer do not eat or destroy the fruit trees. I'll add mulch to this area to help the trees and to take up more excess moisture. The trees will be pretty small, so I'm not too worried about hawks or owls hanging out in them. And with time, the birds in my family will benefit from the fruit. I'll also probably put a little bit of fencing around there while the trees are still as small as they are, just to protect them from the birds for a while. I have some wood piles. I'd like to clean these up, at least some of them. The smaller branches were originally left to give my little birds a place to hide if they needed some protection from the bigger chickens or aerial predators. But now I would like to run them through the chipper shredder to help keep the area drier and less muddy. You'll also see some cut logs in piles. These may or may not get cleaned up. The logs are there to remind me to stay away from the area with the mower, because I hit a low tree stump once and don't want to repeat that ever again. It created a costly repair. If I can get the stump out, I'll remove the logs, but if not, they'll stay to remind me not to mow there. I can use the weed whacker or leave some brush there. Having the small logs there also gives the bugs a place to hide and can provide the chickens with some food, or when tossed in the coop in the winter, can give them a treat and a boredom buster. So this area has both brush and water. The brush can be both a pro or a con depending on your point of view. It can provide a place for the birds to hide and even some shade as the season goes on. Some may not like it because it can be messy, and for me, a place for snakes to hide or a place for some of the birds to hide their eggs and make a nest. The water in the area in the back is a fun spot for the ducks, but not so good for the chickens. If it doesn't dry, it can lead to more mosquitoes, which I definitely don't want. One of the things I'm going to do is replace posts and fix the fence in areas that it needs fixing. These posts were too short, but it was what I had at the time I put this up. So these are going to come out, or at the very least, I'll add some taller posts in between to get this fence at the appropriate height without having to have a flopping over at the top. I don't want birds to fly up and get caught in there, so I do want to get that taken care of. So there you have it. That's a few of the things that I'd like to do to take care of cleaning up my run, and we'll be back at some point after some of this is done and show you the updates.